Hey guys, this is Coach Edwards here with LacrosseGoalietips.com and LacrosseGoalieUniversity.com. And I got an interesting one this week from Lily, and it's a little long, but I'm going to read it to you. It says, I was wondering if there was something you told goalies when the other team is shooting point blank on the goalie and the goalie has no help. Here's why I'm asking. The other day I was in goal and we were playing a game and the score was 7-0 and I kept telling my defense to slide. I'm a Lightning for girls lacrosse. And they just kept ignoring me, and the girl kept coming down with no pressure on her and shot point blank on me. I was mad at my defense, of course, who wouldn't be, but I asked them politely if they could slide next time, and they said sure, but they didn't slide. I reminded them to slide when the girl's coming, but they just ignored me again. I hate when people ignore me. We lost the game, but my team blamed me for losing the game. Hey, I try my hardest out there, so shut up and stop complaining because you're not making the risky move of playing goalie where you could die if a ball hits you just the right way and stop your heart. Please get back to me. Great question, okay, or great experience, statement, whatever. Couple things I want to talk about here. One, lacrosse is a team game. You've heard me say this, if your team was so damn good, they wouldn't need a goalie, right? So, and Lily's got a little bit of that here, which I appreciate. And I've been through this too. I remember going through high school when, especially through my sophomore, junior year, when the defense I had was really not that good. I got really frustrated because I had bigger goals. I wanted to be a better player, and it was really frustrating when the guys around me weren't really up to that standard. Now, one of the things, I had to really scale that back. I really had to be patient all the time. And I had to go to my coach to really kind of go, hey, listen, we're not really doing this. The D aren't doing this. And is there something that we can do to really get that going? It's because when it's the goalie has a really a unique relationship with their teammates. They're not perceived as a coach because they're not on the sideline wearing the whistle, right? But when they're on the field, a goalie really is a coach because lacrosse is one of the only sports where a goalie is responsible for teaching and directing the defense to move to the ball, to slide, to basically leave their player, then slide to the ball at the goalie's discretion. So when the goalie feels like there's a threat, meaning that the shooter is now a threat, then the goalie needs to yell slide, and then that defenseman needs to go. Now, I did a post a little while ago about defenders being maxed out. Like picture a glass of water that when you're going to put water in it for each one of these things. So the first thing is the defender needs to know where to be on the field. There's some water. Then the defender needs to know where the ball is. There's some more water. Then the defender needs to know how to hold their stick and how to slide and how to move their body position. And that glass is filling, right? Now the thing is that for each one of those things that defender has to remember, they're pouring their own water in there. So for a defender who's really athletic and can move real easy, the concept of having good position might just be like a little drop of water in their glass. But for others, it's a lot. And eventually that glass is going to overflow even before they're trying to listen to the goalie tell them where to go, right? At that point, they are so maxed out and they don't know what to do, and they're just overwhelmed, right? I had a goalie from China who wrote me with the same question with their defense, right? And so you got to realize that those defenders out there, they've got their own stuff going on in their head. They got their own issues. They might have failed their math test today, right? They may have, their parents might be getting a divorce, whatever. You don't know these things, right? So every defender on your field is dealing with different stuff in their head. So when you, as the goalie, ask them to slide, they're just kind of going whatever, right? So, Lily, you've done the right thing here by being polite. Now, the thing about the defenders blaming you for losing the game, first off, as a coach, if I hear any of that with my team, I nip it in the bud right now, okay? It's really easy to look at the goalie and the goalie's mistake supposedly shows up on the scoreboard. But the thing is, Lily, is that your grade for your game is your save percentage, all right? You've heard me talk about this before. Your grade is your save percentage. So if your team is letting up 30, 40 shots a game, and you're losing by 7, that's a pretty good save percentage. Now, if your team is letting up 10 shots a game and you're letting at 7, there probably could be some improvement there, right? So you've got to walk away from your defenders and basically say, okay, my grade for today was I got a 50% or 60% or 70%, which in women's lacrosse is phenomenal, right? But as far as those shots coming point blank, you've got to believe you can stop every ball, and you've got to work on those in practice. But there are shots that are obviously a higher percentage of that have a higher percentage of going in than don't, right? So a shot that's point blank, obviously harder to save than a shot that's from 8 yards or 8 meters and beyond, right? So that's where you've got to not let this negativity get to you, all right? You've got to, I would sit down with your coach and go, Coach, listen, this is what I'm doing in the game. This is what's happening. What can I do to be better? Is there something maybe that the defense can do, or maybe it's something that your coach hasn't even addressed in practice, right? Some coaches, but I would think for you, you'd be a little bit a higher standard coach here. But some coaches are overwhelmed as well, right? They haven't taught their D what to do, or they haven't taught their defense to listen to the goalie and how. So in my Lacrosse Goalie University program, or in my membership site, I've got a whole section on goalie communication. And what I recommend for coaches and parents and athletes is to get into Lacrosse Goalie University and watch that and talk, and literally just address with the defense and the goalie. This is what the goalie is going to call and why and when, and this is what the defense needs to do. Because if the goalie calls slide and the defense doesn't go, that's the defense's problem. If the goalie calls slide and the defense goes and then something else happens, it's an equal opportunity to learn, right? Maybe the slide didn't have to happen. Maybe just the defense is just really bad, right? So Lily, you've got a lot of stuff to deal with here. This is a pretty wide open question. I think you're handling it pretty well. Don't get frustrated with their negativity, right? Look for the positives. Look at your save percentage for the game. How'd you do today? What was your save percentage? Was it a good day or was it a bad day? For a team that loses 7-0 to blame the goalie, I would disagree. You can't win a game if the offense doesn't score, right? Even if it's 1-0, right? If it's 1-0, that's a pretty good day on your part, okay? So, Lily, I appreciate the question. Listen, if this rang true with you, if you've got a similar experience, please do me a favor, leave me a comment below. Don't be shy, all right? I get a lot of emails after these, and I really wish we had comments below because we could then further the discussion on the website, which I really love. And do me a favor, Facebook it, share it, like it, do all those good things. I would really appreciate it. And by all means, if you're not a member of Lacrosse Goalie University yet, I would love to see you in there, all right? I do my best to offer as much free advice as possible, but there's so much resources in Lacrosse Goalie University. So click on the link at the top here to join Lacrosse Goalie University, and I'd love to see you in there, okay? There's so much, there's hours and hours of coaching there, and we do office hours, and you can call in, you get me live, things like that, but it's too much for me to list here, but I would love to see you inside Lacrosse Goalie University, so take some time and join up, especially before the season, which is coming pretty quick here. So Lily, thanks for the question. If you've got a similar experience, do me a favor, leave a comment below. And by all means, if you've got another question that you'd love to see me answer, email me, coachedwards@lacrossegoalietips.com, and I'll try to answer that in a future video. Cheers, thanks.